the video.
Is this thing on?
Yes.
Does it work? I think we're taking a picture.
Okay.
Don't understand how the picture works.
Oh, I'm on the floor, so I'm scooting around.
Awesome.
Sliding. No, this is good.
Hey, Destiny puzzle. Sweet. Like this if you like Destiny.
So this is your topic today. I think it's a really
Great.
good topic because, well,
It's already off the
I
rails.
didn't tell you this. When we were talking about this, I love that you want to know me.
Oh, okay.
I think that's very
You're
cool.
segueing into this topic, and I'm
I am,
so
but
don't get around to it.
I love that. I think more spouses need to want to know each other.
Well, I think it was because we had the conversation of once divorce is off the table, and then you are freely to express how you feel, and your spouse isn't threatened by that because
Yeah.
you're just expressing an opinion or a feeling, doesn't mean that I want to leave you. But if I'm feeling self-destructive and I could communicate I'm feeling self-destructive, then you could help me get out of that feeling. And so,
But I can trust that I know you're not going to go, well, let's just get a divorce, or this is just not working.
Yeah.
I know that's never going to come out of your mouth, and I appreciate that. I know that we can have some pretty intense conversations.
which we have.
And deep conversations.
Yes.
Even if you're not feeling madly in love and everything's great. I'm having a really hard time loving you today. You can have that conversation without going, oh, they're going to leave me.
Yeah.
You need to find some security, because if you're throwing around the D word in every argument, that does not make your spouse
When
feel
you say D
secure
word, I
at
don't think
all.
of divorce at all. I think of the other D word. So don't be a D word and use divorce.
All right. Go on. This is your topic. On that little note. So,
All right, and that actually goes into what we're talking about. So this is an advanced marriage tip. I would say start this when you're young and newlywed, but this is hacking your spouse. And I'm going to be a little geeky because I'm a geek or a nerd. And so I'm going to liken to hacking your spouse to like real hacking. So
computer hacking.
like computer hacking. So the one thing that hackers do is they know what they are hacking, and they know it inside and out. They know all of the security holes, they know all of where they can get in and what they can do and how to break in and all of that. And so apply that to your spouse.
You know how to break into me?
I know how to break in, yeah. So you need to know your spouse in depth. You need to know their beliefs. You need to know if they're working from places of insecurity. You need to know their addictions. You need to know their hang-ups. You need to know everything that they're trying to hide from you. And so, and that's why it's really important for you to have the prerequisite conversation of, look, we said that this marriage thing is forever. Do you believe it's forever? Yes. Do you believe it's forever? Yes. Now, do we agree that we're never going to get a divorce? Yes. Once you have that conversation and you both fully heartily agree with that, which most of you probably haven't had that conversation, have it, then you can work on the whole hacking your spouse bit.
But I think it also falls on the same lines as the because of that thing in the Bible where Paul says, should we just sin because the grace abounds even more? That does not mean you get to be a horrible person to your spouse. If there is abuse or infidelity, it's that off the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just be a horrible person and go, well, you said you'd never divorce me. Well, how's that work? Are you a nice person to be around, or are you a jerk to your spouse all the time?
Jerk. That's why I have to hack her. Anyways, so...
Because I'm a jerk?
I am.
Oh.
The hacker's the jerk. Anyways, so knowing them, and so the first thing that you have to do is observe. So, for example, I am going to use an example of a husband having a bad day at work. It could be the wife having a bad day at work. It really doesn't matter. Or your spouse having a bad day. Observing. If you text or talk anytime throughout the day, this is your major thing of getting where they are at. Hey, how's your day going? It sucked. Oh, what's wrong? My boss is a jerk.
The kids were screaming all day.
Yeah, it can kind of go either
Dealing
way.
with depression.
Yes.
I'm too fat.
Right.
Things suck today and everybody hates me and I want to die.
So now that you have observed the behavior, and I would say I'm gonna go to the normal husband works, wife's at home. It could be the opposite, again, way around, or both of you work, but the wife gets home first. if you know your husband is having a bad day or your spouse is having a bad day, when they come home, empathize with them. Or over text, empathize with them. Hey, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. Is there anything that I could do when you get home?
Join each other
Right.
in whatever feeling they're feeling.
This is the joining bit.
Yes.
And so join your spouse in the emotion that they're feeling. Empathize. Hey, I'm sorry you had a bad day. Hey, do you want me to get your favorite beer? Or do you want me to get your favorite wine and some roses on the way home? Or just do that
How about I just pick up dinner on the way home?
Yeah.
How about I call the babysitter or grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Empathize.
Empathize.
Empathize. Be with them in their pain.
Yeah.
And the next thing is to create a plan. Okay, you don't have to communicate the plan if you don't want to, but you can create a plan. All right, my wife's having a bad day. The kids have driven her nuts. She's been at home all day. I think I'm going to stop by Safeway and buy a $10 dozen of roses.
Easy peasy.
It's $10.
Honey,
It's cute.
come here. I love you.
Yep. And then
Kiss
you're
you on the
immediately
forehead and love on you.
right. You'll immediately join her or him in that situation. If you're a stay-at-home mom and you can get rid of the kids and you can answer the door naked, do that for your husband. When's the last time you've done that? Or drop clothes all the way to the bedroom.
Or just hug him with the kids in the background and grab onto him.
Yeah.
What is his love language? Do that the minute he walks through the door.
Exactly. Yeah. So simple little things. If you want to drop down and give him oral sex, do that.
Oh, you said you were going to say that in public forum.
Yeah. But and then men, you could do that to your wife because she gets home as well. It doesn't have to be just a woman thing.
Okay, number 4.
All right. Pushing you right along. Act the plan. After you create the plan, so
Execute it.
You've observed that he or she is having a bad day. You've joined them over text or the phone because they're having a bad day. You've created a plan. Now, don't go, that was a great idea, and not do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Do the plan, whatever it is. If
you know
it's
what?
sexual, if it's not sexual, if it's flowers, if it's a massage, if it's a bathtub, if it's let's go out to dinner, if it's here's a bottle of wine and a Sex and the City DVD, go watch it in the room. I got the kids for the
You're
night.
trying to think of something.
Yeah, I'm just randomly going.
But also, before you, I don't, if you're the spouse that's getting this, just take it for what it is.
Right.
Don't think that you're manipulating you or trying to get you to do something or just trying to get you in the bedroom. Go, wow, he really is thinking about me.
I
because
like it
you
when you try and
backwards
get me
can
into the
observe.
bedroom.
Yeah,
Right.
you can observe backwards and go, whoa, he's really trying. Sometimes we become so jaded to our partner, we don't even see the good things they do anymore.
Yeah.
If you've done that so long, you're not going to see the good things they do for a really long time.
And this is going to
that's
be
hard
a
for the
big
other
blind
spouse.
side
Yeah.
to them. If you've never done this
never
before,
done it
if you're
before.
hacking your spouse, it's a what's wrong, what's going on. You know,
Why are you being so nice
even
to me?
even if you're doing something nice, are you leaving me if they're insecure?
Right.
All of that
Oh,
will
yeah.
will come up. So you just be prepared, and you will get that if you do step 1 and observe. You will know what their reaction is going to be when you do something completely different.
Yes.
And that's what we usually tell married couples the first time we meet with them is, guess what? Start doing the opposite of what you used to be doing and see how that works, because what you're doing isn't working. Might as well try something different. So, step 5, reassess. And reassessing you could do with the bad person or the person you're hacking, or
Bad person.
or you could do this alone. So, for example, if Tammy's having a bad
The
day,
victim.
the victim, the hacked.
The hack.
If she's having a bad day and I run a bath with rose petals and Epsom salt and with flowers and there's a bottle of wine and she comes home and I'm like, your day sucked. Why don't you get naked and get in the bathtub? Here's a book, here's a magazine, here's a glass of wine. I'll call you when dinner's ready.
Oh, that is so sweet of you.
Yeah, I might get something later. But
But don't go in with those expectations because
yeah.
you may not. You're just
Yeah.
trying to figure your
Not with
spouse out.
women.
You're not trying to do this for you.
Right.
You're doing this for them to know them better. So
And
what
that's
you are
the,
doing.
and that's the whole thing
Yeah.
of this entire thing is that you're at this point hacking your spouse, arguing for them to win.
Yes.
You're
Always looking for a
acting
win-win.
as you want them to have a better day, rather than the day sucks. Here's your kids. Change a diaper. We'll meet later for dinner, and then start screaming at each other. Try something different. Try something a little sweeter.
Yeah.
So
It's
that
a win for your spouse. If you focus on that and put the win to your spouse, it changes your perspective on what you're doing and how you're doing it.
have your spouse winning
If
all
this
of the
is-
time
yeah.
is an amazing place for you,
And
because they
eventually-
will go,
Yeah.
wow, well, he made a bath and he made dinner and I should take my clothes off for him later.
We're just using that as it.
It's a great example because it's us, and we always talk
exactly.
about sex, and I always got to talk about sex. Reassessing. So if you want to reassess with your spouse, then in the male perspective, it would be, hey, honey, here's your favorite beer. Let's talk about your day over
There's a
dinner.
lot of alcohol in this.
Yeah, I don't know why. Here's your favorite pop. It doesn't really matter. I'm just using it as an example.
Here's a cup of tea.
Here's have a cup of tea. Here's a cup of tea with sleeping pills in it, so you can sleep the rest
Wow,
of the day.
now you're drugging. Sex, drugs, and alcohol.
Then turn on the rock and roll, and you got it all.
And we're over 10 minutes, so let's just end it on this note.
All right, but reassessing is, hey, did this work? Is my spouse calmer after Tammy gets out of the bathtub? Hey, how was your day? Do you want to talk about it? If they don't want to talk about it, it's fine. If
Go
they
back
do
to
wanna,
empathizing.
Yeah, if they do want
Okay.
to talk about it, you're joining them and going, yeah, that day sucked. Do you need a massage while you talk about it? Do you want a foot rub while you talk about it? Stuff like that. But that's how to hack your spouse. Basically, all you're really doing is going, my spouse is struggling with depression. So what am I going to do? Am I going to yell at her because she's struggling with depression? Or am I going to go, you're the most beautiful woman in the world and you could do anything that you want to do, and how could I help
am
you?
with you.
And
I am
how can I
just
join you in your
joining you.
depression?
Just joining rather
Yeah,
than solving.
I want to join you in your depression, and let's walk through this together.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to hack your spouse, rather than complain about her or him. It doesn't really matter. I've been going through some anxiety, and she's really hacked me to get me out of it. Hey, I know you're really stressed out at work. Let's put some organization in place so you're not flipping out every day. She hacked me. And then later I hacked her.
I didn't even know that.
Right, you didn't know it because you were doing it because you wanted to make sure that I was
Okay.
okay. And isn't that what we want?
I
Just
want
want
you okay.
our spouses to be okay. All right.
All right.
So
we
have
love
a
you guys.
real conversation about divorce first. Divorce
This
has
is
to be off of the table. If
Because when divorce is not an option, it forces you to find a solution.
right.
Yep.
So and hacking your spouse finds other solutions, and you start looking for them to win rather than you to win.
Yeah.
And guess what? You stop playing games and you start being an episode of the real world.
Everybody's sleeping with everybody. We don't want that.
No, that's not what I meant.
All right,
And
we love
people
you guys.
get real in the real world.
Okay, we love you guys. Happy Monday. And we will see you next Monday. If you have a topic you'd like us to cover, feel free to message us at any time. Visit us at haveamarriage.com on Instagram, Twitter.
Go on a date.
Yeah.
Get datebox.com. Have a marriage 50 for 50% off of your first date. We pay for the other 50%, so it better be good.
All right, we love you guys. We'll see you later.